This is insane. Did Bam Adebayo just score 83 points in single game? Yes, you heard that right. Bam last night dropped 83 points and 9 rebounds within shocking 36 free throws made. This night goes down in the history books because games like this does not come often. This video will go over the game, and is this a legitimate performance in the history books, or is it a fraud? Start with the facts, because the facts alone are hard to believe. March 10th, 2026, Kaseya Center in Miami, the Heat hosting the Washington Wizards. On paper, not a marquee matchup, and it probably didn't look like one in the early minutes either. Then Bam Adebayo started cooking, and nothing about the rest of the night looked ordinary again. 31 points in the first quarter, the most in an opening frame in Miami Heat franchise history, and the crowd picked up on it immediately. By halftime, Adebayo sat at 43, which meant he'd already surpassed his career high of 41 before the locker room break, a total that had previously taken him an entire game to reach. The third quarter closed with 62 on the board, and that's when the LeBron James chapter quietly ended. James had held the Heat's franchise scoring record at 61, and Adebayo wiped it out on a breakaway slam with time still running in the third. When the final buzzer sounded, the stat line read 83 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks across 42 minutes, with the Heat winning 150-129. The shooting breakdown: 20 of 43 from the field, 7 of 22 from 3, and 36 of 43 from the free throw line. That free throw number sits at the center of everything being debated right now, and we'll get there. For 20 years, the second highest scoring total in NBA history belonged to Kobe Bryant, 81 points on January 22, 2006, against the Toronto Raptors at Staples Center. Across those 20 years, it sat untouched, widely considered the most unbreakable individual mark in American sports outside of Chamberlain's 100. Ask any basketball fan before March 10th which record fell first, Kobe's 81 or Wilt's 100, and almost every one of them would have pointed at Wilt's. They were wrong. To understand how big Adebayo's 83 actually is, you have to understand what Bryant did that January night. Toronto had started the season 1-15, but Chris Bosh was averaging 22 points and 9 rebounds, and the Raptors ran a zone defense all night. None of that stopped Bryant, but what almost nobody remembers is that Kobe only had 26 at halftime, with the Lakers trailing by as many as 18 in the third. That changed fast. Bryant scored 27 in the third and 28 in the fourth, 55 points in the second half alone, the second highest half total in NBA history, and the Lakers won 122-104. Kobe's final line: 28 of 46 from the field at 61%, 7 of 13 from 3 at 54%, 18 of 20 from the free throw line at 90%. Late in the game, Phil Jackson considered pulling Bryant at 77 points, one shy of Chamberlain's 78-point mark from 1961, and assistant Frank Hamblin talked him out of it with one line: there would be a riot. 2 final free throws with 43 seconds left put the number at 81. Even Kobe couldn't explain it afterward. Not even in my dreams. That was something that just happened. One more detail nobody who knows it ever forgets. It was the first and only professional game Kobe Bryant's grandmother had ever watched him play live. That is the game Bam Adebayo just surpassed by 2 points, 81-83. And that margin, and how you feel about it, is essentially the whole conversation right now. But first, the records that fell deserve their own accounting. Adebayo set an NBA record with 36 free throws made, clearing the previous mark of 28 held by Adrian Dantley, and shattered the record for free throw attempts at 43, which is 11 more than Wilt Chamberlain took during his entire 100-point game. Bam shot more free throws in one night than Wilt did during the greatest individual scoring game ever played. No player in NBA history had ever made 25 free throws and 5 three-pointers in a single game before this night. Adebayo also joins Chamberlain as the only players ever with 20 made field goals and 25 made free throws in the same game, and his 43 field goal attempts were the most in a non-overtime game since Bryant attempted 50 in the final game of his own career in 2016. Before March 10th, only 15 games in NBA history had produced a 70-point scorer. Adebayo is now the 11th different player to reach that threshold, joining Chamberlain, Bryant, Doncic, David Thompson, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, David Robinson, Elgin Baylor, Joel Embiid, and Devin Booker. The direct comparison tells 2 different stories. Kobe shot 61% from the field. Adebayo shot 47%. Kobe hit 54% from 3. Adebayo hit 32. Kobe took 20 free throws. Adebayo took 43. By efficiency, the gap is wide, and Kobe's game came when the league averaged 106.2 points per 100 possessions compared to 115.3 today. None of that shows up in the record book though, and the record book doesn't grade on a curve. After the game, Adebayo put it simply, "It's a special moment. It's Wilt, me, then Kobe," which sounds crazy. It does sound crazy, and yet there it is. Growing up, Adebayo worshipped Bryant completely, and after the game, he addressed it directly. "That was my idol growing up. I watched how he approached the game with that laser focus. I wonder what he would say to me at this point." Bryant died in January 2020 before they ever crossed paths in person, which meant the player Bam spent his childhood studying never saw what Bam became. The emotional contradiction built into that. The idol whose record you just broke is also the man you credit for teaching you how to compete is almost too layered to sit with comfortably. When Adebayo's 83 was announced at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, Bryant's old building, the crowd booed loudly, and that reaction captures exactly how divided this feels across the league. Out. A man who grew up in a single-wide trailer in North Carolina, raised by a single mother who nicknamed him after a cartoon character, who spent the better part of a decade being defined by everything except his scoring. That man put up 83 points and became only the second player in professional basketball history to score more in a single game than Kobe Bryant. The critics who call the fourth quarter manufactured are not wrong. The people who say 83 is 83, regardless of how you got there, are also not wrong. Both of those things live inside the same number. Adebayo said it after the game. "To have this moment is surreal. To be able to do it at home, in front of my mom, in front of my people, in front of the home fans. This is a mark in history that will forever be remembered." Whatever side of the debate you land on, that last part holds. The record belongs to Adebayo, and the kid from Newark now sits between Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant on the most exclusive scoring list this game has ever produced. That's the story. That's the 83. Drop a comment below. Legitimate record, or does the asterisk belong? Subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and we'll see you on the next one.